It's now time to put the evaluation document together. While you have been constantly evaluating your thematic unit during this ADDIE process, it's now time to do an overall evaluation. This presentation will cover the different sections of what should be included in your evaluation document. And something to keep in mind, this is a reflection of what went well, what didn't go so well, things you would change. So I'll talk about the different sections that you'll want to make sure you include in this document. So the first section is learner reaction. What were the reactions of your learners during this thematic unit? What did they like? What did they not like? Some teachers have chosen to do a reaction survey and provide the results to that. The reaction survey is just a list of questions of, you're getting the kids' opinions. What did you like? What did you not like? What was your favorite part of this unit? What was something you wouldn't want to do in the future? This reaction survey is something that I do with the EdTech endorsement. After each course that is taught, I send a survey out to the teachers and I ask what went well, what didn't go so well. My questions are a little bit more specific depending on what the class is, and I use that feedback as we start evaluating and getting ready to teach this class the next time. So you don't have to do a reaction survey. However, a reaction survey is a great way to get student feedback. The next section, objectives. Were the objectives met? How well did the learners do when meeting the objectives? How do you know that the objectives were met? Some things you can include in this section are scores from assessments, examples of student work. So this, even though you may not have been able to go through every single lesson in your unit, how is it going? Are you meeting the objectives? Why or why not? The next section is the evaluation from the perspective of the facilitator. So in your eyes, what worked and what didn't work? It's interesting to see the perspective of the facilitator versus the learner's reactions, because sometimes you might agree on what worked and what didn't work, and sometimes you might disagree. Is there anything that you would change of this thematic unit? Anything you wouldn't change, and why? The next section, materials or technologies. Were the materials or technologies effective and appropriate? Once again, what worked and what didn't work? Did you plan to use a certain piece of technology and, as we know, technology can be sometimes it won't work when you want it to? Did you have a plan B? Is there anything you would change? Anything you wish you would have used? Or while you're going through that design and development process, anything you would have wished you would have thought about using and that you'll go back and use the next time you teach this lesson or unit? And finally, the environment. How was the environment where this lesson, the thematic unit, was taught? Was the room size and arrangement okay? Would you have changed any of that? I know sometimes the room size is beyond our control. However, could you have scheduled like the Kiva in your school for a particular activity? Would you have arranged your desks any differently? Could the teaching space be modified in any way to improve instruction? So I went through those sections pretty quick. That's all this evaluation document is. It's just a reflection about how did things go? What would I change? What wouldn't I change? What did my kids think about this? I didn't provide specific examples in this presentation. However, examples are posted on Canvas. I don't require a specific length for this evaluation document. However, I would like those sections filled out or described in a way where I fully understand or see that you are reflecting on the experience and you're really thinking about what you would do differently or what you would not do differently in the future. The information gathered for this evaluation document will also be used for your final presentation. We'll make sure you know exactly what needs to be covered in your final presentation, and that's the presentation you will do in front of the class. But a lot of the information you're going to use in that presentation is going to come from this evaluation document. Well, I hope you enjoy having the opportunity to look back and evaluate your experience with this thematic unit. And especially if you're still teaching the lessons, this can be a great opportunity for you to see how things are going and if there's any adjustments you need to make for future lessons that you're doing in this thematic unit.